Hi everyone, Skytoys here again. Another unboxing video. This one's airsoft related, so if anyone is interested, stay tuned. This is something that I've ordered on the weekend from World of Dynamics. I've never ordered from them before, but I placed the order Sunday. It arrived yesterday, but we weren't in, so Royal Mail didn't leave it. They attempted delivery again today and left it this time. So I've had a quick open of the main box, got this out, thought I'd do a video on it. This item has been coming up on YouTube quite a lot lately. It's something that I've looked at to try and just make my life a little bit easier when it comes to playing airsoft. It has been around for a while, but I thought, why not do a quick review on it and go over and show you guys. So thanks to World of Dynamics, when I opened the box, I got this QR code for the Discord server, so if anyone's interested. 2 stickers from Aldo instead of a patch. I believe the patches were out of stock at the time, so 2 stickers. Packet of Haribo. And this. So this is a product from T238. They make bits and pieces for airsoft. They are known for their tracer units, the Nano and the Nano Flame, among the others. I haven't got any of those, but I have seen reviews of them. They look pretty good. I am tempted to get the Nano for one of my pistols, see what it looks like, how it works. But this is actually their Speedloader. This is a Pro Edition one. Now, I've been looking at Speedloaders because obviously my existing Speedloader was one of them. And I can't find the other one. The other one I got is a slightly larger versions of these that hold like 200 rounds. That one's knackered. This one works, but it only holds about 50 to 90 rounds or something. And I'm worried that at some point I'm going to break that off. This isn't much good for most of the magazines I've got. So I thought I'd get this. There are other Speedloaders out there. Autobot being a common one. Seems to be quite popular. I believe Evic do a copy of one like that. You also get it, they're battery operated. You also get the Odin one, which is a hand cranked Speedloader. But this is much like the Autobots. It's an automatic one. So let's open it up. We've got the manual, which does have English versions in it somewhere. Then other languages, we don't need that. A bag of adapters. So it comes with these 4 adapters. One's for your M4, one is for gas blowbacks, one is for shotgun cartridges, and one is for pistol magazines. Obviously, not every single type of mag will be catered for here, but the vast majority are. Also in here, I believe this is, if I can get it out, just some rubber feet to stick on the bottom. The Speedloader itself, I'll take that out. Now, this one I got from Waldo because like I said, I've looked through it for a while. Everyone was out of stock, but I did see Waldo's post, get my teeth in right. His post on one of the Facebook airsoft community groups saying that he actually had these in stock and they were on sale at the time. So I think I paid £110-ish, £109, plus the shipping, which made it about £115. The ones he is supplying come with a battery. I've seen these without the battery for about £120. With batteries, anywhere from 130 to 150. So sounds like a good deal. Couldn't resist it. Ordered it. Like I said, it came within a couple of days later. Now the battery in here is an 11.1 LiPo, the same type that you will get in your Airsoft Rift if you've got an AEG. So as long as you've got one that's the right sort of dimensions, you can use that instead. They are Dean's wired rather than Tamiya. I prefer that. I think Dean's is a better connection. It goes in on the bottom through a screw. So undo the screw here, pull the little hatch out, you can take the battery in and out, get to the connections to charge it. This is a bit of an issue. Unscrewing that, it's a bit of a pain. I'll give you an example. It's not just a short unscrew, that's a fairly long screw in here for what it is. You'll pop up and pull out, then get to connections. This would have been much better if it was a hinged hatch instead. A little flat where you could just push it one way a little bit and then it just pops open. It would have been quicker. But then, if the battery is fully charged, I don't know how often you're going to need to undo this and charge it. The feet just stick on the bottom. You just need to be careful that you don't cover this battery. So I wouldn't stick them directly in the corners, I would bring them in a little bit closer. First impressions, the build is quite solid. I can drop it a little bit and it won't break. If I drop it too often or from too high, it will shatter and break and crack. It looks like it would easily come apart, but these look like there might be special drives for that. Rather than just Phillips, it might be Allen bolts. Well, it's a little bit reflective here. It looks sort of like Allen bolts, but not quite. Well, I do know that the feed gear here, this one right there, that's plastic. T238 do some upgrades for this thing, and one of the upgrades is metal gears. So if you want to, you can change the metal gears. I wouldn't do that with mine yet. I'll wait and see how long it lasts before the plastic ones break, and then maybe look at it getting metal gears. They do the hatch here where you load your BBs into it. They do a replacement hatch, which is basically this with a feed tube on it, so you can easily empty your mags back into here, which is a nice little feature. They charge to buy that off their website, but if you have a 3D printer, you can actually print off this. They make the files available. The files for replacement nozzles are there, and a few other types of nozzles that they haven't included. And I think that's really nice of a company that's selling the product to allow the 3D printed files to be available to the general public and use. I've got one of these printed out. I will replace it if it fits. It's not the best print off that I've got. I may try and print it again so I can get better quality, and if I can't, I'll just order it from them. Right, so to the actual device itself, obviously feed, loading hatch, put the BBs in. This is where the nozzles go. They just basically go on, twist and lock in place, or you can just put them on. You don't have to lock them. There's a directional keypad here, and the reason for that is LCD to display how many BBs you're loading. Now, with the directional pad, if you increase it, it increases the BB count incrementally. The longer you hold it, the faster it goes. But also, one of the features on this is if you go up and down, there are presets. I think 250 is the most, but you need more than 250, you can just hold it. So presets, push down on it, and you come into this little menu. Record is, it records the number of operating hours, so how long this has been on for. Brightness, obviously the screen brightness. The lower you have it, the more battery you'll save. Display auto shut off, so the display itself will turn off after a certain amount of seconds. Anything from 5 seconds to half a minute, or permanently on. Auto shutdown turns the whole unit off after a set period, and that is half an hour, hour and a half, or 2 hours. You can also go in here to turn it off when you're done, and back to your screen. On the screen, we've got how long it's been on for, the BB count that you've set to load. It actually counts how many BBs are loading here. It also tells you your battery voltage. So, fairly simple operation. Let's see how it works. So I've got a few BBs here. Let's try and get them without getting them everywhere. Whoa. Well, as I say, without getting them everywhere. I think that's most of them. Most of them went in and didn't go all over my workbench. There are a few. We can always tie that up later. Give it a shake. Now, one thing this does have on the side is this little gradient scale here, so it gives you a rough idea of how many BBs is loaded by shaking it, trying to get it level. I got about, I think that says 1,000 BBs in there. So at the moment I'm using Vorst 0.28s, the tracers. I've got some 0.3s by BLS to use, but at the moment that bag hasn't been opened. So this is the last of me 0.28s that I've got in here. Let's just get a few more in there. And I've got a couple of magazines to try. So 3 pistol magazines, CO2, Mark 23, and the standard green gas one. I have my KWA TK45 magazine, which isn't an MP5 or an AR9 type of magazine. They are KWA's specific. Spectre arms from the XO2 Edge. This is, I believe, an AR9 style magazine. I can't remember which brand this is, but it's an AK-47 mag, or an AK mag, and one of the EPDMs. I'm going to try this one because it has obviously a little window that shows you when it's full, and these are known to have quite stiff springs when they're new. I've only had this one a few months, so fairly new. We'll see if this one loads. So we'll start off with the rifle AEG mags. So the M4 style adapter. We'll just go on this. I think this one is 200 rounds. So let's have a look. 250, let's set it for 200. Let's see what happens. Come on. So 200, we're just going to put this over the nozzle, push down, and after a couple of seconds, getting tight. There you go, it's done. And that reckons it's loaded. Oops. 135 BBs. And it's done roughly, according to this, 16 BBs a second. I'm going to see if we get any more out of that. There we go. So an extra 24 have gone in there. So 135, we've got 159 BBs in there. I don't think we'll get any more in that. Sounds about right, 150. 14 BBs a second. Let's try the EPDM. Again, I think this is a 200 round mag. It's not having any problems with it at the moment. You can hear it slowing down as it's working against the spring. 200. The spring hasn't moved much, so we'll just see if we put a few extras in. And this is the beauty of it. If I think it needs more, right, I'd say it's Office 250 in this magazine then. It's managed that quite well. The springs adjusted. They're in there. So that slowed down to about 13 BBs a second. KWA, this has got the feed bit on the end, so make sure it uses the very last BB when it's in the rifle. Let's see if this works on here. So same thing again, straight on, push in. I'm not changing it because I can't remember how many BBs these take. 120 maybe. Yep. So about 120 in that one. And again, the BB follow at the end didn't prove any issues with this. Let's get in the shape and see how it's doing. Now this is a tricky one. What I'm finding with these is this little spring here that holds the BBs back is very light and it tends to lose them. Now I think this is only 120, so we'll set it to 120, see what happens. Oh, look at that, we haven't lost any. 120, I think that is a full mag there. So far this is proving no issues. The only thing I don't like, and I can understand, is that if I want to change the nozzles, obviously this is full up with BBs, it doesn't return them. So we're going to try the pistol mag now. So I'm just going to sit that in, I'm not going to lock it in place. We'll try the CO2 one first. Now it's a pistol mag, so 30 rounds. I don't think so. I think this is going to be about 15. We'll try that, 15 here. With pistol mags, you do have to put them at a bit of an angle, I believe. So we'll try. So nope, that didn't work. So you can see once it starts, there's nothing to stop it feeding. If things go wrong, you just have to take that mag off really quickly. So let's try it again. Let's have a look. That might work, that angle on this one. So we're going to go on that angle. Now, it's trying to push the magazine off, so it's struggling with this one to load it. I might need a bit more practice at that. I'm going to leave that open in case they come off again. No, we're not getting anything in there at all, are we? Right, so this one, it doesn't seem to like to load. We've got one in there. It's not a good thing. Let's try that. There we go. So if I keep this one upright, it has done it. 15 there, let's try again. 12. Yeah. So what's happening is as it's loading, it's really hard to keep the mag in place there, it's slipping off. But we have got some in. Making a right mess here. We'll keep the pistol mag on there. Can't get that BB out. And we'll try the other two mags. I know from what I've seen, it is a matter of getting the angle right on this. So, try this one. Whoops. Started to. Try again. Yeah, it's really hard with these pistol mags. It's trying to slip off. It has loaded some, but it's struggling. Maybe the spring's a bit too tight. But it is doing it. It's trying at least. Now, one last one. TM1, which I believe takes about 20. There we go. Didn't find an issue with that. With that, there you go. So Tokyo Marui mag loaded nice and easily. This one, which is, I believe, from the Vorsk VP9 or VPX. He's trying. He gets a couple in every time and stops. Yeah. So I think that's just because of the spring being tighter. I know there's an adapter you can get that might go on the pistol mags this way. Whether that'll work with this, I don't know. Let's try that one again. So this is from, sorry, this is the VP9, the 1911 style. Whoa. But it has got some in there. It's full. This is from the VM6, which is an EU style, I believe. So the pistol mag is an issue. Let's try it, and it looks like, there we go, that was stuck down. And I said when it does mess up, it flings BBs everywhere, so not the best, but I do believe the Autobot is much the same. It's really good at loading M4s, but if you're trying pistols and that, it's going to be a problem. Like I said, fortunately, this, I'll give you a sort of idea. If you have, yeah, that fitted onto there, the replacement nozzle, it will empty these out fairly easily. If you don't buy it, you can try and do it this way. God, it's not going in there to do it. I'll empty that later. But there we go. Let's get another one stuck in there. This I can see being an annoyance. So that's how many BBs were loaded in the feed tube. So if I don't think about it and then just put that straight in my bag, these are going to come out into my bag. I'm going to lose those and they're going to be rattling around the pockets of my carry bag. You can see the amount of force it's using to push the BBs through. It's quite a bit, so if it does mess up, they fly everywhere, and I have got them everywhere. I don't know how many that is, but there's quite a few here. What I do like about it is obviously it's clear, so I can see how many BBs I've got in there, which I know the Autobot doesn't do. And what's the other one? I'm trying to think of the name of the other speed loader that's out there. It's very similar to this and square. Oh, oops, I've got a couple in there. Probably shouldn't be in there. I think I've got mixed BBs in there. But, and that's the other thing now. Once this is loaded, I've noticed there's no way of getting these out of here unless I feed them or open that and shake it. And if I shake it, you can see there's BBs here. Let's see if I can show you. Just make a mess. If I push it, just watch the wheel go. Right, so you can see it's feeds them in. And there we go, more stuck in the tube. So yeah, there's no way of getting them out of here unless you shake it and hope they can come out. If you've got any already preloaded, you're going to have to push it and let them come out and empty them out. But it does what it needs to. It's loaded up my BBs. It's made them, you know, loading up the mags between games will be a lot quicker. Not that I really suffer from that too much. I'm lucky if I empty one mag per round when I'm playing any games, especially in a 20-minute, half-hour game. I very rarely go through one mag, but if I do, I know that if I'm on my second or third mag for any reason, as soon as we get a break, I can go back to the safe zone, load up my mags, these. It's not going to take me the 10-15 minutes, which when I'm using this can do. I mean, anyone who's had one of these ones knows the pain feeding 2 or 3 BBs at a time, and then when the spring gets stiff on your mag, trying to push that down. That's why my other one's broken. I think it just couldn't fight the spring on one of the magazines, and it's just worn itself. So this will be great on that. It will be a pain if I lose any of the adapters, but knowing that T238 sell them on the site, worst comes to worst, I know that they've got the 3D printed files available, so I can print my own out. Probably FDM rather than resin. I can see if this is on a resin printer, they'll be a bit brittle they might snap, might damage my mags. As an FDM, they shouldn't be as brittle. It should be a bit more hard wearing. So this is it. This is the 238 Pro Speedloader. Does the job. It's nice. It's not exceptionally heavy. It is a bit bulky, the shape of it, but with the amount of other gear I'm carrying, it's not going to be a problem. Do I like it? Initial thoughts are, yeah, it's good. It's okay. I can see maybe the plastic gears wearing and breaking, especially pushing against the springs on the mags once it's loaded. Getting used to it shooting BBs everywhere when it's loaded, or if I get things incorrectly held, it's going to be a bit of a pain. You know, it makes a mess everywhere. But I can go to a game, load this up with almost 2,000 BBs, I think. That's normally more than enough for a day's gaming for me. So I won't have to take a bag of BBs, just put them in here. Make sure this stays shut. Just get this out and load it. It should save time, and it should save a little bit of the mess and loss of BBs. So yeah, I'm happy about it. Let's turn it off. Let's go back, power off. Great, well done. All off. So yeah, if you can get it from Waldo while it's on the sale for £110, I recommend it. If you have to buy it without the battery, it's going to cost you £120, £130. Maybe wait and see if it ever drops in price. But yeah, I think it's going to be, it's one of those essentials. A speedloader, an auto speedloader of some form, is going to be an essential for anyone who plays airsoft regular. This is a fairly decent one. Obviously, long-term use will confirm whether or not it survives, how it works. You know, do things break on it easy? But you see what it's like from an initial point of view. So for me, that's why I was saying, see you later. Bye for now.